Welcome back to The Division 2. It's been a little while since I played this game, but they've just released an update for it, and they have brought back the Sleigher snowball machine gun. A lot of people have been interested in that gun because it's only available during the time-limited events, and they happen once a year. But that's made a return, and now we have a new mask called the Chill Out Mask. And everyone is going crazy over this mask because it's Guard, and it comes with 2 mod slots. So instead of just running armor on kill or something like a blind resistance, you can now run 2. Well, that's what you can do with this mask. So a lot of players are jumping into the game, they're getting their hands on the Chill Out Mask, and they're adding it to their builds, or they're making a new build around this mask. Doing things like that is pretty much all the developers really needed to do. Add new content into the game, and then just add some gear pieces that would sort of encourage players to change their builds up and run something different. But instead, we've had to wait a year for the new content to be delayed, and not only just be delayed, but for them to reveal this expertise system that is supposedly going to encourage you to change your builds up, but it's going to do that at the same time as improving your current build. So it doesn't make any sense. However, alongside the Chill Out Mask and the Sleigher weapon, there has been a title update 14. And just quickly, before we do jump into that, if you're looking to get your hands on the Sleigher and the Chill Out Mask, all you need to do is fast travel over to Jefferson Trade Center and just run into the street a little bit. The loot goblin's going to come up from the little manhole thing, and you're going to kill him and get both items. But on to title update 14, and some of the stuff in this patch notes list should not be happening in this game at all. Especially for the game to be almost 3 years old, with certain things like this happening, unbelievable. So the very first thing they mention is winter rewards. The end of year themed hoarder is back in the summit and the open world. Killing them will drop the Sleigher weapon as well as the new Chill Out gear mask. So that's the loot goblin. And all you got to do, as I said, fast travel to Jefferson Trade Center, run into the street a little bit, he's going to spawn. And there you go, you got both those items. The Santa Hunter is back on the prowl in the summit penthouse. Killing them will drop the Santa mask. So there you go. Instead of a Christmas themed entire apparel event, you've got a couple of bits, one of them being a time-limited weapon that we had last year. Or it might have been the year before. Not entirely sure, but we've had the Sleigher before, and they've brought it back as some exciting sort of thing to get your hands on. I mean, an apparel event at this time would have been nice for something new to do in the game. But moving into the bug fixes, performance and stability fixed an issue where the game will crash on a regular basis when DirectX 12 is enabled on PC. It's been an issue for a very, very long time. And the last thing that happened before this fix to try and fix it was Ubisoft updated their actual launcher. It fixed it for some players, but a lot of people were still crashing often. And then probably about 6 months or something later, they go, oh, we've now released a fix for it. But then moving on to the talents and the skills, they've reworked the Striker gear set and is no longer going to lose stacks when you miss shots, and the stack loss per second has been increased to 2. So it's no longer stack loss per second, it's stack loss per 2 seconds. And I have no idea why they're reworking gear sets and stuff when there's no content. They haven't done anything else. And this is title update 14. This isn't 14.1, 14.3. This is supposed to be like a major title update. And not only that, since they've changed Striker, I've had people leaving comments saying all their Striker chests and stuff have gone missing. And that's been an issue before in the game. So they've managed to bring that back. They fixed an issue where the Technician Specialization ammo would get refilled when equipping the 4th piece to the Tip of the Spear gear set. Fixed an issue where the outsider talent duration didn't match its description. The in-game duration has been reduced to 10 seconds compared to 20 previously. And they also fixed an issue where Adrenaline Rush would be triggered by enemy skills and traps. How long's Adrenaline Rush been in the game for? They've only just got round to fixing it. In terms of summit balancing, fixed an issue where the top floor of the summit provided significantly more XP than intended. You know, because this game doesn't work as intended. It was previously awarding more than 10 times the expected amount. But I mean, you can't just farm floor 100. It doesn't work like that. So I feel you should be rewarded a decent amount of XP. And for them to, like they said they fixed it, it was offering more than 10 times the intended amount. Well, you're now going to get less than 10% of what you was getting. And they can do all that, they can nerf things that players have been using for months and months with no issue, but they can't make an update that's actually going to bring something to the game. They've just gone and delayed it, and I'm going to keep banging on about it because they've had a year to work on this shit, and they still haven't got it done. So audio and narrative. The missing echo from Camp White Oak and the Fei Lao manhunt mission is added to mission rewards. So there was an echo that was missing for... I don't even remember when Fei Lao come into the game without her cutscene. And they fixed an issue where the introduction music would not play. Text and localization. Fixed an issue where the Dark Hours raid portrait wasn't showing the players' names correctly. Another issue where the right stick description in the German... I don't know why it says in the German, but in German mentions left instead of right. And they fixed an issue where the Ubisoft Connect reward condition for the impromptu weapon skin was incorrect in Japanese. Now onto visual glitches. There are a few that they've changed or fixed or whatever they want to call it. So they fixed an issue where players could remain stuck on background inspect menu when inspecting weapon or skill from a group member while being in a down state. They fixed an issue where players could experience brightness changing from very dark to very bright at certain angles in the final garage door at Space Admin HQ. I mean, wasn't the lighting a really bad issue in the Summit at one point? And now where a game is going to need incredible lighting, I'm talking about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, yeah, they've left a team that can't deal with lighting to work on a game like Avatar. They fixed the stuck NPCs in a spawn room whilst players would attempt a resource convoy mission at Judiciary Square, then in brackets Bakery and Cafe. Fixed a bunch of weird textures and floating objects. They fixed some floating graffiti of the word checkpoint at Washington Circle Northwest. They fixed a floating trash at East Executive Avenue Northwest. They fixed an issue with flickering posters in the Botanic Garden. They fixed an issue with a missing wall texture. They fixed an issue with a missing wall texture next to stairs on the house of the corner H Street Northwest and 16th Street Northwest. They fixed a floating plant in Downtown West. I mean, that really ruined the gameplay experience for so many players. I remember that plant so well. Every time I walked past, I would just see it sitting there floating. Fucking hell, I'm so glad they fixed that, I really am. And then finally, they fixed an issue with flickering texture on ramp east of a promenade. And then there are a few level design gaps. They fixed a gap present between the building and the ground in Downtown West, a gap between the wall and the ground on the corner, East Executive Avenue Northwest and 8th Street Northwest, fixed a gap between the door and the ground at a building located near National Bond Armory. National Bond Armory, isn't that a classic assignment? You know, one of those things that was part of the Year 1 pass that still doesn't work for a lot of people to this day. Yeah, I think that's the ones. So, that was a look at the title update 14, if you can even really call it that. And that was a look at the patch notes and the talk about the chill out mask and the Sleigher weapon, and yeah, that's pretty much all my coverage for the Division 2 until something pops up at some point in 2022 with this new update, if it's ever going to get released. And if you didn't pick up my sarcasm through the video, then just know I was being sarcastic about a lot of it. This game is an absolute shit show right now. They're fixing pointless stuff, they're like trying to pretend that they're involved with the further development of the game with the maintenance and fixing this stuff, fixing that stuff, when no, they pretty much haven't touched the game for an entire year now. But what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.